What's going on, my beautiful people from YouTube? I want to make sure you guys are getting some fresh news. And with that, well, comes these impromptu live streams. I'm probably not even going to keep the stream up because I might do a video on it and actually explain everything in detail, kind of concise. Yeah, you know how I like to do it here on the channel, try to keep things clean as possible. But this was one of those opportunities that I just did not want to pass up. I didn't want to, leave you guys hanging and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, actually, why didn't you tell me about this when it happened? Well, here I am telling you guys about what's happening right now. So, I got a lot of hate about Helium because of what I said about them. I feel like I need to almost explain myself in the beginning to make sure that, how do I even say this? You guys understand where I'm coming from, because at the end of the day, this is not let's hate Helium party, right? Because that's not what I'm here for. That's not the way I like to do things. So somebody actually brought up a couple of things. First, two comments that came my way that I want to make sure I address with all of you guys. Somebody said that it's funny that I call myself Action when it looks like I would get winded running from one side to the other of the room. Yeah, that was hilarious. I had to reply to that one. He probably deleted the comment. Anyway, yeah, when people don't have anything good to say, they try to make stuff up, like thinking that it will matter. It really doesn't. Secondly, the people that really love Helium, guys, I don't dislike Helium. I dislike aspects of the network. I think that what they have done is truly groundbreaking. What they've been able to implement is something that it is wildly impossible for most people to do. So don't get me wrong. I really do like Helium. I like what Helium has done for me. Because I bought in early on, I had the opportunity to get my money back. Now, to you guys saying that the Helium Discord is toxic, I would have to agree with you guys about 1,000%. But it's not always that way. The reason that network ends up being toxic is because people are passionate. And people follow things blindly. You end up with, I guess you can say, this gruntle, like they care too much. They care too much, right? And it's almost the same thing with Meta Hero, like from back when I told you guys about Meta Hero. It's not a matter of like this is a bad network, these are bad people. No, they just care too much. And I don't blame them for it, because it's cool. You guys are really passionate about this, but you got to remember, anytime you're too passionate about something, you end up making bad decisions about that thing, right? It's why cults exist. You become so infatuated with a person, with a thing, that all of a sudden you lose yourself. Um, and I get the comments about the Helium team being money hungry and all that stuff. Guys, the reason why somebody builds something a lot of times is to make money. You want to be profitable, right? Like at the end of the day, I don't want to just stick around and say, hey, I am doing this because I love X, Y, and Z and I don't care about the money. No, money moves things. Money makes things happen. It's what you do with that money. And I've talked about that time and time and time again. And I don't love money. I love what money is able to do. So therefore, money not bad. The way you both acquire and spend that money is key. And that has been a big frustration, for me when it comes to the Helium Network. It's how all of that wealth was acquired early on, how the token distribution took place. That's the issue there for me. And when you have your blinders on, that you care about a project so much that you're not willing to sell the token even when it hits zero, you get yourself into messy waters. And that's what I want to avoid here. I want to make sure you guys understand that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. There are opportunities and things that you can do right now to be in a better space. You want to make sure that when you are part of a network, that network is one that is growing, that is transparent and true from the beginning, which is why I want to talk about what I'm talking about today. And I just realized I never tweeted about this or let anybody else know. So I'm going to do that right now. So low key live, I'll share. Let me do capture. You guys can see what I'm doing. So low key live about my Helium Network replacement tweet. There you go. Now everybody knows about it. 7 months to get your Bobcat helium dropped to 80%. Yeah, Daniel. I mean, I'm in that boat. Like, I even wrote a little song about it when it came to my Bobcat, of as far as how long it took for me to get that device. And it stinks big time. Now, I've known about this project that I want to share with you guys for a little while. I've been in touch with them, and the reason I waited to share was because I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the right info. That I'm not just out there saying, "Oh yeah, things are going to be amazing with this," and I don't know anything about it. I had plenty of people reach out to me asking, "Hey, do you want to promote what we're doing?" Yeah, Gary, it's Cadena for sure. Um, and when people reach out to me saying that sort of thing, I end up going, I don't know, because I don't know what you do, how you work, and how it all functions. But I've had the opportunity of connecting with the founder of, I'll show you, I'll share my screen. That way it makes it a little bit more, I gotta get sound effects going. I got a little soundboard. I gotta get that going. But I've been talking to the guys over at Crankk for a little while, and the reason why I think it's time for me to share with you guys is because of the tweet that was just put out. So this is what they said. This is the moment you have all been waiting for. We're issuing a limited quantity of miners to further test the network. We're excited to expand the network's reach with the help of the community. EU868 miners launching today. I'm not 100% sure what time today, but it is launching today. And again, this is going to be a limited quantity, I'm guessing. Oh, there you go. Buy indoor miner. Ah, interesting. I don't even didn't know it was live yet, but it's live. I asked them to give you all a discount and do the whole coupon code action. Um, yeah, but at the end of the day, they didn't set it up, because I'm guessing this is gonna sell out. They probably don't have that many units, so it is what it is. But you guys know it's available, it's live, and I didn't want you all to miss it. So that's the main reason for me to kind of cover what this is all about. Now, let's talk about why I actually believe in sharing this information with you guys. Um, First, this is not a project that want to be their own thing, right? Like, if you think about helium at the start, and this is how it's going to differ from helium. And basically, right now, I'm going to probably jot down some notes as far as what I'm going to say on the video that I do about this one, and I'm going to do notes with you guys because why not? And this is literally like my teleprompter when I record videos. I literally open Notepad and I write stuff down, and then I read it. Then it's record video one shot. So let's talk about those things first. They did not go out and decide to create a whole blockchain and say, "Hey, this is what this is what we're all about. We know better than everybody else. We're going to create our own chain, and we're going to be fine." No, I had a big issue with Helium. It was down a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, and the fact that they are utilizing a proof of work blockchain that is actually scalable, like Cadena, is a huge deal for me. Huge, huge. Um, Most people, don't think about the details, and I think the details is what's going to get people in trouble in the long term. It's what got everybody in trouble with Helium. It's where were the tokens at the beginning? What's the blockchain situation? Is it reliable? What's the spoofing situation? Going on with Helium. How does that work? So there's a lot of little details that people don't look into, and it gets you in trouble. And I love you guys for asking questions. I am totally going to answer all of those. Um, and Yeah, it matters. The details matter. A blockchain needs to be robust enough to be able to handle this kind of traffic. Not only handle the kind of traffic, but also be reliable and safe, right? I am not a huge proof of stake fan, because proof of stake literally means the more money you have, the more power you have. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I'd rather, have the power be with the people that are mining. And yes, sometimes if you're able to acquire enough, miners and have enough hash rate, you have more power. Absolutely. But that division of power is much easier to come by. Like, you don't have to spend thousands to get an ETH node, right? Like, that's not how it works. It's if you have a graphics card, you can mine it. That's the idea behind it. So even the little guy can participate in something bigger than themselves. It gives opportunity to literally the people, making it a people's network, not an executive's network. But that's not my statement. That's somebody else's statement from Forbes. She's really sweet, actually. I know a lot of people complain about, that article from Forbes about helium being a little bit too sensationalism, type of journalism. And I get it. I mean, it sells. People love and eat up that crap, but it works. Now, the reason why I believe, in Crankk that I was going back to, it's the blockchain that they're on. They're not trying to build their own thing because the details matter. And if your blockchain sucks, what's the point of having a good network? Secondly, they're not stealing tokens at the beginning. And I guess you can call that a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, but I don't like people do that. It's not good. It's not good for everybody. It's not good for the network. It's not good. I mean, it's just not the way to go about it. And their model is going to allow for expansion long term. And what that means is that if you don't know the Cadena blockchain, if you don't know how it works, is that they are able to expand forever if they need to, because they have the ability of implementing more chains. The way Cadena works is that you have these, interconnected chains that make it so you can scale further and further and further. Right now, Crank is only operating on one chain. The idea is that as the network grows, new chains will be opened up for Crank. And as chains open, the rewards will also get a boost. So it's not like, oh, if you're in today, you earn a bunch, but tomorrow, when there's a bunch of people, you're not going to earn as much Crank. No, the idea is that you want to be, you want to scale, you want a nice curve. You don't want to go, I almost have to bring this up because it illustrates what I'm talking about so well. And there's actually a really quick thing for me to show you. Here we go. So you don't want something like this, where you have each miner earning 33,000, almost 33,500 tokens per month. One miner, one single miner, and then 20, almost 29, 23, that's not the way to do it. So we're talking about a scalable solution that will continuously allow people to earn long term. And with more people, more chains open, and the rewards also keep coming back to the users. Crank is a very unique beast in the sense that you are not looking at something that is here just to sell miners and then we're done. No, there is more to it. And their approach is a little bit different than Helium when it comes to what they want to do with the network itself. A major priority of the Crank network is not to simply sell miners or do any of that stuff. I mean, if you look on the website, they only have, what are we at? How many miners are online? So we got 18 members. They had a number of, oh, right there. They have 125 miners online right now. So this is the first launch. This is the first drop of miners that they're doing. And it's a big deal because you get in early, you end up profiting more, right? And it's a matter of growing the network the right way, because you don't want the allocation to go to just 100 miners and then they're done. And the way I was explaining to you guys before, the token is a matter of releasing those slowly as well. Now, the things that a lot of people won't cover or won't check on that's really important is people. So Peter, you guys have, heard me talk to Peter on Spaces. That's Peter right there. That's his face. And he started this on his own. Like, it was a team of one. This guy was like hustling. He's a senior dev at a major company, and he's been doing this thing on the side. Um, and he was literally, getting regular miners and saying, all right, what can I do with this? How can I convert this thing to make it work on a better blockchain, Cadena, in this instance? And what can it do? And I highly recommend you guys check out, this info here. It's on the light paper. Actually, let me drop the address for you guys so you have that address right there in front of you. Um, and he started just doing it himself, and he has a ton of experience when it comes to, not only blockchain stuff, but development, because blockchain is a very tiny little piece, and a lot of people don't realize that. But the blockchain aspect of it, it's small when you have a blockchain that works, because all you're doing is saying, "Hey, I'm going to utilize something that is existing that has been proven to work through and through, and I'm going to take advantage of that and focus on what I know how to do, which is IoT." He has the IoT experience. He's had IoT companies in the past, so he knew exactly how that system worked. And then he just, learned Pact and said, let's go to town and put our information to good use. Oh, Matthias, thank you. Bye, buddy. Thanks for coming. See you later. That's how people roll. Um, Now, let me talk about the revenue model, Daniel. No, that's super important. The revenue model is existent. There is a goal to actually do stuff and sell data. Um, Part of the reason why I guess it's been slow at launching these miners has been because we're looking at the bigger picture. And I say we because, like I told you, I've been talking to Peter. I've been working with him and saying, "Hey, what's the plan? What are you doing?" Um, the idea is that sales happens simultaneously with implementation of miners. It's not something that, "Oh, let's build it and they will come." No, this is a matter of the limited number of miners that are being put out there is so that, the Peter and all the other people working can focus on the right things, which is actually selling the data and implementing ways for users to use the network. So how awesome would it be if actually I forgot it in the house, but I'll show you guys later. But what if you had a crank miner at your house and you were to set up a little pet phone? I guess that's the name of the company that does the little trackers for dogs, right? You put that on your dog, and you're actually mining and using the network that you're providing right there, and you can have a tracker on your dog. Um, I've had both things on my dog. I've had an IoT network on her, and I actually have an AirTag. Apple tells you not to do it because it's not reliable. It's not reliable because it's relying on Bluetooth technology from iPhones that are in the area. So if your dog runs away, you might not know about it. You might not, realize it until another iPhone is near your dog to actually pick that up. Unlike IoT, which you can actually like geo fence your area and be able to track your dog. Like that's just a very simple example. So the idea is not so that, oh, we're going to sell miners and then we'll figure out who can use the network. The idea is that we want to provide a way for people to be able to mine this thing and use the network at the same time. And yes, it's been a little bit slow getting those out, but at the same time, it's because they're working on bigger things. They're working on not only the connectivity of these miners, but also things that are going to be connecting to them as well. That's a cool part of it. I did reach out to Peter early today, and he mentioned that they have some miners that are going to be launching today, like their Twitter mentioned. I think it's live right now, but the idea is that they will have more drops, and they're working on a batch of US miners next. But right now, EU are the only ones available. So, Brian, sorry, buddy, it is a limited time thing for those EU miners. Um, Conversion from Helium to Crankk. Ooh, that is a good question, and that is actually a question that I asked, that I asked Peter myself, just because, I mean, I have things lying around, um, that are, like Alex from Tactical mentioned, paperweights. 'Cause the earnings just aren't there to justify it, right? And that is part of the plan, and I asked him, like, "Wait, why are you selling these beta miners but not converting other miners?" And the idea is that they want to have something reliable, they want to have a good working model that they have test internally before doing any type of conversion kits. Yes, the goal is to be able to provide conversion kits later on down the road, but they need to make sure that those things are solid, that the implementation is easy for users to, download, some type of application or a swap of an SD card, whatever it may be. So those types of tests are happening right now. They're not being forgotten about because it's important to them to make sure that you guys have options. But here's a crazy thing that Peter and I kind of discussed. He's not trying to steal business from anybody else. He's just trying to give opportunities for people that want a different solution. So it's very rare to find people that are not interested in necessarily putting others down, but just saying, yeah, they have something. We have something else, and that's okay. And that's the way I look at it too, because I can bash other, you know, networks. I can bash a ton of people. Same way that people can bash me for the things I say. It's not worth it. It's not constructive. It doesn't take anybody anywhere. Um, and anytime I criticize something, my end goal is two things. First, to allow you guys to have a better understanding of what's going on. And secondly, to hopefully have that network improve on what they've been doing, come clean with information, basic things like that. Now, um, oh, that's funny. So Jay, let's talk about that. So Jay's bringing a very important thing up, 5G. So if you guys want to mine 5G with Crank, you're not going to. And I've said this before. I personally feel that Helium has set IoT aside, and I've said this months ago to focus on 5G because 5G is bringing in VC money, and that's where they're going to go. That's the route they're taking. So, when you take a look at, oh, actually, let me share my screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So the roadmap, March 2022 is when this thing actually launched. So you're looking March, like 6 months. What's going on? Well, building. There's building going on. That's what's happening. So here's where we're at right now. So you got, contracts and client improvements. You have gateways, some gateways, where we're starting to ship out. Like this stuff has happened. That's the thing about it. Like they have units out there in the wild. Like I said, 125 of them. It's small, but they are growing and scaling the right way. I'm really, really excited to actually have some of these things happen. So new hardware options. That's where we're at right now. We're in September, and you guys are seeing it happen right now. So they are on schedule. Miners for other regions, same thing. So right now you've had, US versions of these miners out there. Now you have EU miners that are being launched right now. They're following the roadmap. They're sticking to it. And for Q4 network map. So I actually got this is actually pretty cool. I got to see the network map and the heat map that they've been working on. It's actually really awesome. I can't wait for them to actually make that live because right now it's not there. Um, so can you run both networks on the same miner? The answer is no, unfortunately. Brian, did you happen to win that Bobcat 300 from me? Because is it the one I gave away on the channel? um, right now you can't run both networks on the same miner. No, that's not how it works. Um, and they are doing this one by one. They're doing these miners technically by hand, I guess you can say. They're putting their, blood, sweat, and tears in regards to this whole thing. Um, what about deeper networks have a load of HNT miners that they could not sell? So Mick, that's a great question, and I will follow up on that. They you are right about the deeper network and how that stuff is going down. It's a matter of making sure that they have their systems ready, right? Not they. When I say they, I'm talking about Crankk. Crankk doesn't want to necessarily say, "Oh yeah, let's open it up for the world before we know how things are working, if they're working in the way they're working." Because part of the conversation that I've had with Peter is, what are you doing to prevent spoofing? Because that's a big deal to me. I hate it that people are taking advantage of your money and my money. Because remember, when you buy a miner, a portion of those funds actually goes into burning the token. Um, so, can a helium miner be repurposed? Possibly in the future. As of right now, no. And it's what I've said before. It's early early adopters get that early reward, and that's what this is all about. Now, Um, yeah, deeper. Yeah, deeper, deeper, deeper. We can talk about deeper too if you guys want. Here's the deal. I don't think deeper token is where it should be. I don't think it's going to be where it should be for a little while. I sold some tokens, and I told you guys back at like it was around 16 cents. Like it's nice. Make sure you take profits, take profits, take profits. Don't get so attached to something, to a network, that you're like blind by everything else that's going on, right? So please make sure you take profits along the way. That's all I can say. Because if you don't, somebody else will. And especially with altcoins, guys, like there is cycles and cycles and cycles. And I do see, deeper coming back, but I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. I don't, expect it to be, next week. But I'm I like what the deeper device does for me. So yeah, I'm going to continue to use it. I think it's worthwhile. So that's going to keep going. Um, but it's I'm not selling the token until it's a little bit higher. That's just the way that I'm looking at it. But please don't get blinded. It's like this is the financial advice that I will always be okay giving, and like hopefully I don't get sued because I don't see how anybody could sue me for this. Do your research and don't get so attached to things because it messes you up. Trading is 1,000% emotional, and if you take the emotion out of it, well, you win. Um, because everybody else is emotional. So if you can take that emotion out of it, it just makes a lot more sense. Is it another scam like HNT, El Generico? Um, no, actually, no. So they're not taking all the tokens out at the beginning like Helium. The network is actually focused on the right things, built on a platform that make sense. Um, yeah, Yo, Husky in the house. Husky, Husky, man. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, EU's live. I mean, Husky knows. Dude, if y'all don't follow Husky on social, y'all should because he is the man. Here, I'll switch. I'll do capture and buy miner. If you go on the Crankk website, there it is, and you select region. And this is the one that they have out right now. It's, the European EU 868. Um, See, I love this when I get people actually coming in here and talking about what they think of people. Um, yeah, I mean, that's what I say. Like, don't take my word for on things. Here's what I will ask you always to take my word on. Take my word that you should look into it. Whenever I say something, you should always, trust me that you should look it up. That's as far as I'll go because I don't want anybody to say, "Well, Vic, you just messed me up. You screwed me over because you told me about this." No, no, no. If I tell you about something, well, guess what? I think that it is wise for you to go look into it yourself. Is that fair? Because I think that's the best way to go about it. Alex, is it a US based company? Yeah. So Peter is in the US. The company is US based. So you can sue people in the US. I guess that's why a lot of people ask that question. I'm curious if anybody's gonna. Well, they can't do that with Helium because all their promises were met, and it's what I keep saying. Helium is really, really profitable. Really profitable. I think Helium is a great company. I don't think it's great for the people using it, but it's a great idea. Um, you just spent your last $500. Did you get me something? Vions? Um, Yeah, and Brian, like, and that's what I'm saying here. Like, you're saying that helium still has potential and all that. I agree with you, man. The problem with helium is the things that I keep bringing up and kind of mentioning. It's not that helium is a bad company. It's not that helium has bad intentions. It's that helium has made bad decisions and l- ignore the fact that people ask questions. They've created a little bit of a posse, unintentionally to a sense where people are sold out for this thing, and it does not matter if the decisions are good, bad, ugly. People just follow it blindly, and that's a recipe for disaster. It's awesome to be passionate about things, but when it blinds you from what's really going on, it's rough. It's rough. I really don't like that aspect of things. So, not only about Crankk, which is this IoT network that I think is going to kick butt in comparison to where Helium has been at, because of I can tell you two things that I will definitely disclose, and I'll make a full length video for you guys to understand what's actually going on. And as soon as I make that video, I'm going to take this one down probably. Dashboard is freaking amazing. I love um, Andy G, am I getting a kickback for spreading the word on Crankk? A pat on the back is basically all I'm getting, man. That's all I'm doing right now is getting a pat on the back. I'm not getting any money from this. There's not even a coupon code for this thing right now. So no, not getting any kickbacks, dude. Crazy, right? Like, why would I spend the time to do a live stream if I'm not getting financially rewarded? It'll come back to me. I'll tell you how the kickback is going to be. I told Peter, Peter, I need a US man. So I have that in the works. So, I got that promised to me because I do want to be able to actually show you guys how the thing works. So as far as kickback goes, maybe that's a kickback, but um, yeah, I haven't gotten a penny about from Crank or anything else like that. I don't get commission if you guys buy a miner right now. I asked for it, never got implemented. We'll see if the next batch, if that will happen. If it does, if you guys see a box for a coupon code, drop in action. That's usually what I ask people to set up for a coupon. Um, that's that's usually how I roll. Like I'll give you an example. Thursdays. I mean, I'm talking about Cadena every Thursday, and we have guests. We have a bunch of people come on. I'm not charging people anything. It's things that I'm passionate about that I think are worthwhile for other people to learn about. So that's where I'm coming from. That's, where my heart's at behind this whole thing. It's not to generate money from all of you guys, because that's what this would mean, right? If I'm doing something like that as far as kickback, all I would be doing is saying, hey, a portion of the money that you're going to give to Crank should come to me. Nobody thinks about it that way, but that's kind of how it works. So I want to see if I can add value without um how do I say this? I want to see if I can add value without taking away from you. Right now, the way that you know I get something in return from this is a little bit different than most people would even look at it. It's not at way less profitable because all I get um, is ad revenue. And ad revenue is kind of awful on YouTube. Like you have to be very large for that ad revenue to pay out. And I don't mind actually. Let me take a look at my YouTube studio here, see if I can. I'll share some stuff with you guys. Du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du. Here we go. Share. All right. Hopefully, you guys can see my screen. So this is my YouTube studio. I don't have anything to hide, guys. Like this is literally what I've made over the last 28 days. I've made $84.64. So if you're wondering money wise what I'm making, that's it. That's it right there. Talk about transparency. I try. I really try. I've seen that number be way higher, but hey. Oh, Ramrod, you're the man, dude. I appreciate it. You're gonna get me to awkwardly laugh now that you've threw that tip in there. But yeah, I mean, this is what YouTube Studio looks like. All right. What could you tell about IO5? Is there any collaboration in the future with Crankk? Not as of right now, not that I'm aware of at this moment. But if anything does come up, I will be sure to fill you guys in. I think this is one of those projects that I'm going to try to cover as much as I possibly can, especially in the beginning, because I want to make sure people understand what's going on. And hopefully Peter gets me a job. Um, I have this bad habit of connecting with people and basically helping them get their companies found, get their things launched, build, and then I just leave. Because at the end of the day, like I like seeing cool things happen. The reason why I learned to code early on, the reason I've done so many things in my life is because I get psyched. I get really excited about the outcome. Seeing things come to fruition really it motivates me. It gets me to that next level of like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. And that's what I see with this network. I can't wait to, like I said, get myself a miner and B, get my dog's collar hooked up to it. Like that's the first thing that I want to do. I want to implement this thing. Dorian, did it? I sell. What did I sell? I'll tell you guys all about my selling. As far as helium goes, I did not sell helium tokens. I have too many. I should have sold more. I did sell some, but I have, my where's my phone? My Helium's been sitting for a little while. Let me see how much I have in my wallet right now. Doo-doo-doo-doo. It's funny, like, as things progress, I end up having so I have 64 H&T right now. That's where I'm at. I got 64 H&T. Yeah, I did sell some to pay for the miners, especially because the price was gonna keep on dropping, so I did sell some of it, but I still got 64.96 H&T in my wallet. I have, my miners are still going, like, I'm not gonna unplug those because they don't take up a lot of electricity. Um, Chad, you wanna know about 5G? So, um, this is one of those, like, sorry to disappoint, but, the network that we're talking about is taking over the IoT that Helium is neglecting. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think Helium is smart as an operations company, as, them trying to make themselves money. They're doing it well, not necessarily by selling the data, but by jumping onto 5G where they can get a ton of VC money and implement things pretty quick when it comes to joining T-Mobile and all those other things. So, um, 6400. What 6400 are you talking about? Yeah, 6400. I wish, man. I wish. Yeah, and like I said, guys, if you are okay with knowing how to install a 5G unit, and this is where I got called out for, spreading FUD, 5G, transmissions are safe and are also dangerous. It all depends on the power output. My biggest concern with this is that people don't know what they're doing a lot of times, and they are utilizing indoor tower, I mean outdoor units indoor just because they have the space. And great, you get great 5G, but you also get, screwed over long term. Like, it's not healthy for you. The power output for 5G has to be really, really high. The 5G waves, they are much broader waves, right? So that means they don't penetrate things as well. So the way that you make that make more better, is that you increase the power output. That's why IoT has such a far reach, is because of the way that the waves work. The frequency is much lower, so you're able to reach much further. Um, yeah, Chad, like, I'm right there with you, man. Like, the indoor units, you're dead on. Um, you're right. You're dead on. The indoor units, make sure the indoor units are indoor and outdoor units are not in your bedroom. Like, that's the thing. Like, I had somebody, "Oh, I was able to get an outdoor unit. I'm so hooking it up, um, I'm hooking it up on the side of my house." I'm like, "What do you mean on the side of your house?" "Oh, like, I have power right there on my bedroom." It's like, "Dude, you're stupid." I don't know how to say it. Like, you're making a really bad decision. Like, that's not how you do it, man. Um, you just got to be cautious. You got to be cognizant of how things are being set up and what's right and what's wrong. That's all I can say, because people, if you do it the right way, yeah, you can be profitable, especially early on. Helium loves rewarding people early on. Um, that's that's what I'm talking about. Um, when I say be careful with things, it's be cautious of how you set things up. Let me see. Let me check the chat. It's kind of weird. YouTube messes things up for me sometimes. They have a top chat and they have a live chat feature, and I always forget to go on the live chat feature. All right. Yeah, Jay, thanks for explaining that. So, the higher the frequency, the tinier they are. When you're talking about IoT waves, they're literally like huge. And that's why you'll see, the IoT antennas being long sometimes, right? It's because there's a ratio that you want to keep as far as the length of the antenna in comparison to the actual wave length. You're going to see, 5G antennas look very different because of the wavelength. Do I think 5G will be big? I think 5G is already big, Chad. It's just expanding right now. I think that you have a really good opportunity in Helium to earn a decent amount of passive income early on. I don't know what the future lies long term, if where Helium is going to take this, right? Because their idea is that they're going to become another powerhouse, just like Mint Mobile and whatever else. They want to compete with Ryan Reynolds. Um, Only time will tell on that front. But as far as here and now, 5G is already big. 5G is already profitable for you to mine, even in this crappy bear market. So yeah, that's the idea. So for the band in North America, that is the IoT band that you're talking about, the 915 megahertz. That is IoT, not the 5G one. So Corrado Cicierella. Um, Yeah, I have no problem being open and honest about this. I think that yes, that Forbes article was sensationalized 1000%. It sells, dude. Like it totally sells. No doubt about it. Do I blame family members for supporting them? Basically, hey, let's turn on as many of these as we possibly can and mine it ourselves. No. I don't blame the family members. I blame the developers. I blame the network infrastructure. Um, that's my problem with it because if you care about the people, to call it the people's network, you have a structure where you're not saying, hey, this is a huge pool of agency that's going to be distributed amongst all the miners, and we only have 5 miners, so they're going to get a bunch of it. Don't set it up that way. That's the problem, right? Um, And that's really where I stand with things. It's not so much that I blame the family members, like you said, bro. Like you're right. You're right. Can't blame family members. I blame the network itself and how it was set out. Like you don't simply say we're gonna give all of these tokens out to, the miners that are online, even if there's 3 or 10 or 100. You set it up in a way where it's fair. That's all I'm talking about here. That's, the reason why I like the Forbes article is data. It made it easier for people to look at data. That's what I like. So hang on, I'm gonna go capture this. Is this sensationalized? Heck yeah, it is. Why do you think people are opening this thing? Why do you think people are, reading and learning more about what's really going on? Well, because you have big bold statements like this. Do you know who this guy is? The policy director at Duke Financial Economic Center? Does it matter? He said something that was catchy and, worth capturing. But if you read, so I read everything, guys, on the pro and con side of things. Like that's people try to peg me for, a liberal or a conservative, and I'm like, I don't really sit on either side. I much rather, subscribe to both networks and figure out what's the truth on my own, because the truth is always somewhere in between, right? And the reason why I like this article is not because of the way they've made things out to be. It's because it actually includes data. And I like when there's data because I can make my own decisions. And a lot of things talked about here are things that I've talked about. And I just like the fact that, hey, they grab data from where? Well, Helium Explorer. And they just aggregated it so you guys can see it in a clean fashion. That's all it is. Oh, is Crankk a light or full miner? So for you guys that joined a little bit later, let me explain what's going on. Crankk is not a helium replacement. It's a completely different network. There is no light or full hotspots necessarily the way the network is being implemented. I I I want to compare it to helium because it's what we all know. It's something that we're used to, something that we've talked about a ton. But Crankk is very different. They're not trying to be blockchain like, Helium set out to be. And, so I guess you can say failed because now they're over, with Solana or going to Solana. But the idea is that they are going to use a proof of work blockchain. So the focus is not on a blockchain. The focus is on an IoT platform. built on top of a reliable blockchain. In this case, is going it's they're using Cadena. You guys don't know about Cadena? Check them out. It's worthwhile looking into it because you'd be early. They are, the first blockchain to actually solve the problem that we've had with being able to be safe, scalable. Wait, what's the third? Who can tell me the third? What's the trilemma that we're always trying to fix with um with crypto? Can you guys tell me that? That'd be a fun thing. Let me see who can get that first. Nobody? Really? Nobody? Nobody can tell me what the trilemma is? So safe, scalable, and that was my excuse. Actually, have a drink of water. So I got safe. Well, security is safe. I agree. I agree, Brian. Guys, the safety is secure. So secure, scalable, and there's a third one. Like I know what it is, but I'm really curious if you guys can get it because I was gonna give you stuff. I like doing little giveaways here and there, and like this is just the easiest way for me to do something. Cryptid, close, close. Decentralized, my boy, Suburban Crypto. I'm gonna highlight you right here. Pin message. That's it. Decentralized. There you go, buddy. That's it. So the speed comes from the scalability. Like you need transaction speed that makes it scalable. The decentralization aspect of it has to be there, but you'll usually end up losing that scalability because of the decentralization of things, or suffer as far as security goes, and don't have miners. But the decentralization thing is the big one. Suburban crypto. Shoot, I don't have it here. So if you guys don't know, Suburban Crypto actually does some awesome stuff. Suburban, do you have a link to the things that you make? Can you share it here in the chat? I want to make sure I do a shout out for you. And he actually sent me something really cool, and I'll make sure to post a picture to Twitter so you guys can see it. But he's a pro at getting your butter boards. That's my new one, butter boards made. So Suburban, share that link so people can see what I'm talking about, and I'll make sure to share it later on. Um, and Corrado, here's the thing. I'm gonna stay as optimistic as possible about Helium. I'm going to continue to criticize Helium because I don't criticize for no reason. The things I am critical of are the things I care about. I have Helium miners, plenty of them sitting out there, and I really want them to earn. Like I want my earning to be real. I want my earnings to increase. So I want the network to do well. That is my end goal, is for the network to actually be profitable, right? Like I want Helium to succeed, and I want Helium to have competition, because competition means that they have to get better at whatever it is that they're doing. Competition is great. If somebody tells me, "Oh, I want, I hate, other YouTubers because they are making, different content. They are, making content that I could." No, no, no. Having other YouTubers is good. You want competition, makes me better. It's the same way in the network. I want better network. So for me to get a better network, competition is key for them to improve. So that's the idea. I love when there's new things, and to compete with what's already existing, because it's going to make them better. All right, Chad, we'll break it down. We'll break down Cadena real quick. Cadena, let me pull up their webpage. Let me see if I have something. I want to see if I can get you a graph, because that makes it super easy. Fast, fast, fast. All right, Cadena, bring it. This is hilarious, but I'll make it happen. Like, I feel like I'm on, like, I don't know, like what do you call those things? Like, I'll do this if I can get a tip of X amount of, But let me do it fast here. Cadena is what I like to call a next generation blockchain, because it's solving a problem that other chains are not able to solve as of yet, which is making something that is reliable in the sense that you know that it's not one guy with a bunch of money staked. It's a bunch of miners, people mining this token first and foremost. So it's a proof of work. The interoperability of Cadena and their different chains is kind of stinking awesome. And I think like I don't know how else to describe it other than show you. Um, Let me show you what Chain Weaver looks like. Um, the way that the network functions is that it's not one chain, but instead 20 chains working together. And the way they've made it work is with graph theory. And I know it sounds a little bit crazy. Hopefully, this thing doesn't crash on me. Here we go. And I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see this cool little graph. So this is your 20 chains of Cadena, and they confirm with each other as you know transactions get confirmed. So you see that there's chains linking with other chains. This is like the coolest graph in the world because these little things, those are actual transactions going in. Look at that. It shows you the hash, then it shows you the next one, and it keeps building on itself. So this is what graph theory is all about is how do you get from point A to point B with the least amount of jumps? And it creates a safer environment because one chain is always confirming with other chains. And all in the while, it's never more than 2 hops right now for you to get to another chain. And it keeps building on itself. You guys want to see what this thing is here? I'll share it with you guys. I'll put it on the chat so you guys can see what this is all about. It's explore.chainweb.com/mainnet. And when you get there on the top banner, you're going to go get started and see chains in 3D. Um, this is, what you get. You get to see the chains getting built out. And I think it's kind of wild that you actually see transactions moving through the chain. And this is real transactions, guys. Like, this is the craziest part of it. But it's super cool. It's really, really cool. And I think that it doesn't get enough credit. Not much purpose to this graph other than people actually being able to visualize what's actually taking place. So you see that right there? That was a, confirmed transaction. And you can see this is the cool part. That the reason why I like seeing it this way. You can see that, oh, I'm trying to zoom in just one little dot, any dot. You get one, two, three, four. So four chains confirming that transaction. Well, three additional chains. So it's that chain plus three others is what's making that connection. So they're talking to each other all the time. When you think things are getting hashed, it's connected. Okay, now I'm really curious. I don't know what the lawnmower man is, but I'm going to look that up. Did that kind of explain the basics, Brian? Brian? I think Brian left. So he just left me hanging here. He's like, "Hey, do this for me," and then peaced out. It's okay. Can't can't ask, much from everybody at the same time. But hey, I didn't do this since I started, which was a while ago. I don't even know how long I've been talking for. So let me see here. Yeah, if y'all haven't hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. What happened to the Cadena computer? What Cadena computer? The Cadena miner? Is that the question? Really? I am not sure what you're referring to. So 5G Cadena miner? Oh, are you talking about the KD5? See, now I'm a little lost as far as what you're referring to because I don't ever remember there being a KDA 5G unit. Huh. I will check it out though. I will look it up and see what I can find about it because that's what I usually do. And I'm gonna probably end up in a deep, deep hole that will take a while for me to um, get out of, but probably be worth it. Oh. Oh, 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 thank you. I know what you're talking about now. All right, now I get it. I appreciate the insight. That's what I needed. Just a little bit of insight there to know what Suburban was talking about. What's going on with fast miners, KD miner? How's Bitmain price going to affect it? Um, Man, I guess we're going to go into all kinds of directions with this thing. I know for a fact that when it comes to fast miners, what do you call it? The KD5, KD, I don't remember the name, K300 or something. Yeah, K300. I was a part of ensuring that things were working at the chipset level. K300 is not dead as of right now. I know that the development worked, that they did get everything prepped, and they were in the stages of getting chips printed and all that good stuff. And then people snuck in and took their spot in line, and they try to go with different foundries and stuff, but they literally got pushed to the back of the line, and so they were actually refunding people because they don't want to hold on to people's money if they're not going to provide the product like they promised. So they gave a timeline of November, and because they're not able to deliver in November, they were going to refund people. They're giving the option to people to refund. I don't think you have to take the refund, but they did give people the option to get a refund. Um, that's what's going on over there, which is a lot more than you can say for other manufacturers. Planet Watch needs to get sued. Planet Watch needs to get sued. If there's a class action lawsuit, let me know. I'd love to fill everybody else in and make sure that you all get the info you need to join that, because it's like it's scary to say things on air and calling them criminal, because to a certain extent, maybe, but I can't back that up. So I'm not gonna say those things about them. But if anybody wants to, file a lawsuit there, I'd be more than happy to raise my hand and join the club, because yeah, it was not a good experience for anybody that was part of it. But I do have my what's nerdy dude stuff, call it the FAR 3000. I do have it in my room, which is kind of funny. Nitro, bro. I never got into. Did I get into Nitro? Hang on. You could just remind me of something. Let me see something here. Nitro. I think I need to start doing some of these more often so I can actually hear from you guys and like just schedule it at least once a month. Oh, Nitro Network. That's right. I gave them money. I don't think I got anything from them. Josh, I appreciate it, dude. I'm gonna reach out to Nitro, see what's going on, because I definitely bought something, but I never got anything from them. Dude, M2 Pro. Um, all right, hang on a second. I'm gonna grab something real quick for you guys. I'm back. I'm back. Let me put my headphones in so I can actually hear what's going on, if I get any dings in my ear or not. But I grabbed stuff to show you guys. It's always show and tell with action. Here we go. All right. So, question about MatchX. MatchX, the M2 Pro miner. I love my miner because it gives me a consistent amount of revenue regardless of the token price. So if you are wondering about if it's a worthwhile endeavor for you to, mine, um, with an M2 unit, I would say this is the time. This is the time to do it, because um, you get to earn in a bear market, so you can cash out when the price goes up. So it's you always want to try to mine as much as possible at the lowest possible price. And the way that MatchX works is exactly like that. It allows you to earn a static amount of money, a static amount of money. Um, that means that when the price increases, you get a good payout. Let me pull this up here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Du-du-du-du-du-du. MXC. They just had a nice little pump back today. Um, and this is gonna sound super wild, but they've actually been able to hold on to their price. M2. Where is that miner? M2 miner. Seriously, I can't find it on my list. Oh, here we go. So here, I'll give you guys a link so you know what I'm talking about. TP:// send. All right. I'm gonna go right to it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Um, so for MatchX, they are very, very different from just about everybody else. They are not trying to be an open source platform. They're not trying to be like, here we go. They're not trying to say, oh yeah, we're all about, letting anybody do whatever they want. No, no, no. They're doing it differently. They have a closed system, which is nice because at the end of the day, they control things. So there's no spoofing on their network because they control it. They literally fully control the network. So they get to say how things work, how things run. Um, and yes, it's pricey. Not gonna lie, their miners are pricier than others. But there is a benefit to all of this. And the benefit is that you earn consistently regardless of what's going on. Um, Oh, look at that. We got deals being made on the chat right now. We're talking live chat. We got Sundiver selling to Ching Chong. We got 5G miners running around. We got helium miner. Anybody want helium miners? I got helium miners I can sell. Actually, still wrapped up. All right. So we got Ching Chong. Your guys are about to get spammed like crazy because if you share info publicly, you're in trouble. But y'all do you. I won't say anything. Y'all want to make deals on the interwebs right like that? Go for it. But anyway, like I was talking about, the MetchX, they're very different where they're a closed platform and the earnings are consistent, but you trade off not being part of a fully really decentralized network. But here's what I want to show you as far as price goes, guys. This is like 2021, and during the bull market, no, it did not get very high. But during a bear market, it's not going very low either. So the price is more consistent than other platforms. And right now is the time to earn, like I was saying, because you want to earn at the lower end so that when the price goes up, all those earnings are multiplied. So you might, let's say you have 10 bucks worth. Well, when it goes up, happy day. Nitro 5G Nitro Network Miner. John, I would love that. I am really curious what happened with my money that I gave to Nitro a while back. 5G compatible miners. Oh, but you cough. Helium. You guys are a blast. I love doing these lives because you guys actually show up and make me smile. I got to see what I have because this is going to sound weird, but people sometimes send me stuff. What else can I tell you? Somebody asked about Deeper Network. I did want to show you guys something that I have from Deeper Network, and I'm going to give this out. I'm going to give a few of these out because I actually do care about the people that got in there early, and want to make this network available to others by sharing and like Genesis miners specifically. So if you're a Genesis miner, I'll make a video about Deeper. This is their little fan that most people have only seen pictures of. It's a basically USB hub that goes from USB-A to two USB-A ports and one USB-C port, and has two integrated tiny little fans to cool down your deeper device. I got one of these on my Genesis, and I will give a couple of them out because I think that the heart of any network are the people mining, are the people that are using it. So if I can be, a little bit of help, I'm going to do that. And yeah, that's to all the people saying that, the earnings are terrible. Yeah, earnings aren't that great. And I told you guys that I'm on deeper because of what it does, as well as um, its functionality and the people, not necessarily token price, because token price ain't worth it right now. So yeah, I get it. But yeah, Ching Chong, if you hit me up on my Discord, I am going to be cleaning up Discord this week, and I got a bunch of tickets that I got to go through. Yeah, I mean, I love my Mini too, Suburban. Like, I do like my Deeper Connect Mini. It's a worthwhile unit. I actually have an extra one. Maybe I should give out a Deeper Connect unit on that Deeper video. But yeah, that's where I'm at. It's worthwhile. It does what it's supposed to do, and I love the fact that I'm able to share my bandwidth with people from all over the place that might not have a good connection to real news or real things. What is my Discord? Oh shoot, Discord.action.ceo. I'm gonna put it here in the chat so you guys have it. There you go. Let me change this up. There we go. Sweet. All right. Oh, let me get back to what I was talking about. Let me see how many units are actually available on Crankk. Oh, it doesn't have a number. I'm really curious if people are already buying and how many are they're actually selling. That would be a really interesting question to answer. I'm gonna send a message and see what's up. Let's see, because that's what I started this live stream for, is to make sure that um, you guys knew about Crankk. And again, the real reason why I wanted to share is because they put out a tweet saying that these miners are going to go live, and people have been wanting to buy miners for a while, and they weren't able to. Um, So now that they became available, it was like, yeah, I gotta let people know. And I will make a video, concise video about this stuff. But it's a matter of trying to get the info out to you guys sooner rather than later, because I didn't want you all to be like, oh, Vic, what happened? How come you're telling us about this late? Because I've gotten that so many times. Like, if you knew about this, why don't you say something? I am saying something. I've been saying something. I just haven't made videos about it. So I need to do a full length explanatory video about it. All right. It looks like you can actually still buy it, which is good. That means they have enough units out there. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, good deal. So units are available. And here's the thing, I will also I'm gonna try to make that video today. I'm gonna reach out to them and ask when the US units are going to be available. I have access to a dashboard because I asked for it. So I'm gonna show you guys what a dashboard looks like. I'm gonna try to get the availability for US miners because I think that's important for everybody that, is in the EU. Um, and Jumbo. Um, you cannot use helium devices to mine Crankk, not at this time at least. That is one of the things that they want to do long term, but they have not. Um, there's no conversion kits as of right now, right? They are launching, a small batch of beta units right now so that people can, what do you call it? So people can have an ability of exploring the network and they can understand how these miners are functioning. So this beta units, they're going to be, from what I understand, they're going to be Ethernet only. So the Wi-Fi is not working on them. They turned that off because they're testing. Um, That's what they're up to. Ramrod, hang on a second. Are you sharing links again? All right. All right. Since you brought it up, Ramrod, let's go ahead and tell everybody about this. All right, because I've done videos about this before, but since you brought it up, let me drop it here. This is Illumicate. If you guys don't know about them, they're basically using AI technology to capture things. And when I say things, I literally mean things. How many red cars? How many, luxury vehicles? How many BMWs? How many, whatever? They're using that data. They're using that data to sell advertisement, right? Because people need to know who are their target audience and where are people at, who are the people, and they are going to have is it the wait list? Yeah, join the wait list. Here you go. So this is a wait list for Illumicate if you guys want to actually be miners, because this is literally like a early bird thing. So it's a wait list for you guys to be able to mine this thing. What it does, it uses your GPU. So you got to have a decent GPU. And when I say decent, I'm talking about like a 1080. It works to be able to do some of this processing. That's all it is. I get referral credit. There's no referral credit on this, dude. I got no referrals. I don't get referral from mine either. Like that was just the early ones, Ramrod. Like, and that referral credit was like, will I get a whitelist spot? That's all that was. I got no money. I'm like that meme. You guys are getting paid? Because I'm not getting paid. Yes, one more thing, one more company that I actually like, the people that I like, that I have no problem helping because I like them, not because they're giving me money. I got nothing. I really got nothing. I talked to them a couple of weeks ago. But if you guys, yeah, CPU process as well. You're right. But if you guys are wondering if how you can make money from them right now, I mean, they got jobs listed. That's one thing you could do. They're over in Canada. But they're good people, man. Like they're really, really, really good people. So it's just a good company. I don't know how else to describe it. Um, Come on, Ramrow, you don't have an extra computer laying around? That's usually how I do my extra mining with. Same thing with Tempe. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, old computers work just fine as long as you can process information. It can mine this thing. It's pretty cool. Like the technology behind it is really awesome. Not only that, the user case for it is that what I like the most about it because how do I say this? People want the data. People actually want to buy this thing, right? Like, what's the point of creating a network with things that people aren't buying? So people are actually buying this one up, which is a good thing. Let me see. I was just curious how long I've been. I don't even know what time it is. Let me see. I started at 12. Oh, geez, I'm going on for an hour, 15 minutes. Canada, J Canada. Yeah, I mean, that is how you pronounce it, isn't it? Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, so we talked about Deeper. I'm going to give you guys, the USB hub, mat checks. Oh, mat checks. I didn't show you guys some of this stuff here. I got goodie bags for mat checks that I can actually send to you guys. Anybody want anything? Like, just drop a comment on the chat real quick. That's all I'll say. What do you guys want? Because all I'm trying to do is provide you guys with value on the stuff that I talk about. And today's little spur of the moment, you know, thing here was all about getting you guys to know about what Crankk is all about. And Crankk is kind of awesome, and I like what they're doing, especially because of Cadena. And I mean, I've talked about Cadena enough, and you guys know what it is. Yeah, I'm still mining Cadena. Electricity sucks. Electricity cost in California sucks, but if you have enough, if you're producing enough, you can actually mine it not badly. I don't have an M2 Pro. Helium 5G, don't have that one. Man, I want nothing more than to give one of these things out. But I'm not unplugging mine, and you lose, Action NFT. Is that what you want, Alex? You got it. Live chat. I did not mind KDA using their beta program. I wish. A wallet would be nice. Jan Roland. What kind of wallet are you talking about, Jan? Alex. See, I have an Action NFT that I can give you. Let me open Discord real quick just so I can actually. I don't always trust. What do you call it? I don't always trust the chat inside of uh, YouTube. YouTube's um, for you guys to drop your wallet addresses, but my Discord does work. So open C. Come on, come on. Anytime now. Anytime now. Right. Action. I'm gonna go to the general chat just so you guys. So Alex, just drop. Let me know what your name is on Discord. Oh, geez. Nerdy dudes. I need to block him. I don't know how he keeps coming back to Discord, man. I keep blocking him. I'm joking. I'm joking. He's a good dude. Alex, if you're in Discord, let me know. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. So, yeah, I'm live. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's me, you guys. It's me. I'm on both things. I just don't want people to drop their I don't want people to drop their stuff. All right, here we go. Here we go. Alex. NFT. Okay, so here's what I need. So pause for a second, and we're gonna do this thing. Alex, all right, Alex Junk. Sweet. Things are gonna get a little weird, but there. Alex Junk, what is your wallet on Discord there, buddy? And I will send you an NFT. Let me see. Anybody else said an NFT on this one? We're gonna finish the day off by giving stuff away. I love it. Mick. Mick. Mick, what? Give me your wallet on the Discord, and I'll send you one too. Best scam ever. Oh, so we got new people joining the stream. They're probably like, "What the heck is going on?" So if you guys are just joining, I'm actually just giving stuff away right now. You think the average person will be able to get a KA3? Yeah, I think the average person will be able to get a KA3. An average person with money. As far as KA3 goes, guys, what's going on is that they don't want to put a price on it because the price of KD8 stinks. And it will not be wise for them to put a low price and then have to bump the price up. So that's why they don't want to sell it right now. They have that timeline. They're talking about December right now before somebody can get it. And I can actually tell you what the price, let me think here. Sorry, I'm actually looking up a conversation that I had with some distributors and stuff to give you a rough price as far as what they were looking for. And this was a K3. So the price. So the KA3 pricing wise, they were talking like, so this is early. It's been changing it's all over the place. People don't know what they're charging it's the honest truth. But they first started talking about $30,000. Then it dropped down to $25,000. And then we had other people saying about $10,000. The price is literally all over the place. Mendoza, 5G is a money maker for the network. So yeah, nitro wise, I need to make sure I get those guys. I need to make sure I get those guys. What do you call it? Here we go, Alex. I get those guys' info because I definitely gave them money and I got nothing from it. You gotta figure out what's going on. Yup. Mick, where are you at on the Discord, man? I want to give you stuff. Yeah, Mendoza. I mean, right now it's a scam to me because I didn't get the stuff I ordered. But it could just be me missing emails and not following through with stuff. But I'll get to the bottom of it. I'll let you guys know what's going on with that because it is a little bit odd. Considering mining ETH, POW, or ETH Fair. Dude, like my graphics card's always running. So yeah, I'm mining something right now. I don't even remember the last thing I set my 3090 to mine, but it's mining something right now. Let me get into my OpenSea account and start transferring stuff. It can be stuff for you, SK. No problem. I got to get back to the first person who asked for a wallet. Hang on a second. Who was that? Let me see. J. 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 Vosk lied? I'm sorry. So here's the crazy thing. I don't think Vosk means to lie, and people think that I have this huge like beef with the guy. I really don't. I wish him the best. I just think that he has a way of running things, and I have a different way of running things. I don't dislike him. I just, yeah, poor guy. I have so Jan. I had some wallets laying around, so I want to make sure that I give you guys stuff. I haven't done these in a little while, and I forget. And here's what I'll definitely say to you guys: try giving stuff to people. It feels really good. That's just my recommendation. Just give it a shot. Like, if you have stuff, if you have stuff that you don't need that has been given to you, try giving it out. Promise you, it feels really darn good. I just need to know from Alex if he wants red or blue for his NFT. Oh yeah, thanks, Ramrod. Blue. All right, we're gonna get blue for Alex. I'm just sending NFTs here. Transfer. Mick, what is transferring item? What is your wallet, man? I need that wallet. I gotta switch networks here. So I can get you some stuff. Dude, you guys have no idea how slow my Discord is because it runs so stinking slow from like all of the channels that I'm on. Uh-oh. This has never happened to me. Let me see here. I'm gonna cancel. It's not letting me transfer NFTs because I don't have enough Matic in my wallet. Oh, jeez. That's funny. So, for you guys that don't know, Matic is a layer 2 for Ethereum. I have NFTs on there, and it costs nearly nothing for you to, for you to transact. Like fractions of a penny on the Matic network. However, I've done a lot of fractions of a penny transactions, so I am having to get some Matic onto the right wallet so I can transfer these NFTs. That's so funny. How is it going with Plant Scam? Plant Scam. Oh man, we're just talking about it. You missed it, bro. You missed it. See, Mendoza, buddy, you missed it. We are talking about the class action lawsuit that everybody wants to file, and I said I'll be down to helping anybody that wants to get that word out. Because yeah, all of us got basically robbed from that one. Confirm. All right, cool. I got Alex taken care of. So Norzor, yeah, Crankk is legit. It's tiny, but it's legit. That's what I can say for them. They're not very big. They're not well known. They're just kicking this thing off, but they are legitimate. So what I can stand behind is that if you buy a miner, you're gonna get a miner. I mean, if you buy it, you're gonna get it. That's I don't want to say it can be easily guarantee, but again, I think I need to stop watching. Well, I miss actually watching The Office, but that's a Office reference there. Here we go. All right, let me get back to the Discord because people are saying there's messages there. Let me see here. Oh, do people have? Oh yeah, everybody has a big sense of entitlement all the time, dude. Like all the time. Yeah. People, man, I don't want to start talking about how things work in life and all that stuff, but the bottom line is that people are entitled all the time. And I mean, you have an option, right? You can either help them along the way, or you can hate on them. So when you have people like Mendoza coming on here and like just being big old jerks, I can either shut him down and be a jerk about it, or I can just say, "Yeah, buddy, thanks for your feedback. Bye." Um, I'm not gonna be a jerk to people just because 'cause they're jerks to me, right? That's not the way the world works. And I'm still just transferring NFTs right now to people. Um, Now let me go over some of these things. Where are we at? Jan, did you? Oh, I see. Push Gaming Club. I got you. Ticket 152. Let me look that up. I actually gotta Google it. Jan, if you're on the Discord, let me know, just in a general thing there, and I will make sure to get you that wallet that you asked for. Garabe. Do I have a Wolfer Finance NFT? Maybe. I love how I get on here. Anytime it's a live stream, we just go all over the place with topics, man. It's actually pretty exciting. And with the Wolf for Finance NFT, it's nothing to show for. It's just stuff I bought myself. Like I literally just spent my money and bought it. Where are we at? Me, yeah. So that's mine right there. If you look up 2031, that's me. So I do have a Wolf for Finance NFT. What else? What else? What else? About Deeper Network. Am I still staking? Yeah, I'm still staking on Deeper Network. I'm not taking my money out of there. I think the price stinks right now. I think right now is actually a good time to buy the token. I'm probably going to be spending a little bit of money and buying some Deeper. Just gonna keep watching for dips and picking it up. Because I see the long term promise of it. I'm not telling you guys to do that. Like, don't waste your money doing something just because I'm doing it. That's not smart financial behavior. Look it up, see what you think about it, and then make your own decision. But I'm just telling you guys, I am doing this. I am going to buy some DPR here and there when the price is low. Kyle, I love you. Oh, Kyle, buddy. Oh man, oh Kyle, you coming over? Dude, I made too many mussels and I'm struggling because, the kids, the wife, they were like, I don't want to eat mussels anymore. I made a huge pot. So, like, I got tons of mussels that I need help eating. So, if you're down, Kyle, come on down, dude. I got mussels for us. This is on top of the tuna that I already hooked you up with. Here we go. Let me see. Yeah, Scott, I appreciate it. I actually asked the question, OSC Prime. Man, I am hopeful. Hopeful. That's the best thing I can say um, about SC Prime. I'm hopeful. I really want them to actually do a good job selling, and that's what it boils down to with a lot of these projects. You have to make sure, like, there's no other way around it. They have to have good sales. If they don't have good sales, they're done. They're done, right? It's a good project. The way they're going about it is great. But hey, they don't like when you jump on planes, Ramrod. Walk on. It's safer. But sales is everything. So the ability for them to sell is going to determine um, their long term viability in the market. That's what it boils down to. And the cool thing about them, though, like if you think about it, something that is worth it for you to mine with them is that if things tank, well, you can still use the hard drives. So it's not like it's not all loss. I do like SE Prime. They are passionate, but less passionate than Helium. That's the best way to explain it. All right, let me get back to Discord here to make sure I got everybody covered. Yeah. Cool. Oh, the price of SC Prime is not doing so hot. Um, but I think again, the reason why SC Prime's price is not doing so great has to do with the lack of volume, has to do with the fact that more people need to use it, guys. Like it's at 21 cents right now here. This is SE Prime, so let me see how big I can make this. There you go. That's perfect size. So we do year to date. We had that big old peak at, $3, and we've been flatlining since. But this is not a bad place. Like, what they need here is some type of partnership. They need something. They need announcements about, hey, we have so and so using our platform. Somebody's going to utilize our this centralized storage solution, and that price will take off. That's all it needs is more use cases. I do like the fact that they have possibly the easiest platform for you to swap from AWS to their hosting platform. It's pretty darn sweet how they've planned that out. So that was definitely a good move on their part. But again, it does boil down to people too. Let me see. K350, $300. K350, $300. I'm buying some. Is that a good reaction? Did you miss the content, Lawrence? Yeah, you missed most of it. It's pretty funny. People just keep rolling through and figuring out what's going on. So I'm just, filling people in as far as Crankk goes. Crankk is the network that is replacing some of my Helium stuff because I am not earning enough with Helium. So I am getting some Crankk miners going. Right now, the reason I started the streams because they put out a tweet saying that they're going to be making the EU version available. So indoor miner at $4.99, $20 shipping, and this is it. So this is a beta unit, by the way, from what I talked to them about. So it's not going to be everything that people want it to be. It's not going to have all the bells and whistles, but it will mine Crankk, which is what they want to do. They want to get more units out there and do further testing because right now they only have 125 miners online, and if they can get more miners online, they can get better data, and they're going to improve the network. And they're focusing on the right things from the get-go. They're focusing on making sure there's no spoofing going on. They're making sure that there's good decentralized expansion of the network, and the earnings are not going all to one person. So it's good stuff. How do you earn on IoT on ETH? PoW. So it's not ETH proof of work. Marshwan? That's interesting. Cool. Anyway, so it's the proof of work network is Cadena. They are based. They're a Cadena blockchain organization. So they, instead of trying to create their own blockchain like Helium and having things fail, they just said, you know what, we're going to go with a scalable solution. And they picked Cadena because they solve the trilemma. That's what's going on. It sells new projects on the hardware to sell it to the Crankk. Solve gaming? No. Does it allow existing hotspots to join? No. Is it better than Helium? No. Same thing. Worse even. Darko. That was pretty dark. Actually, here's what I can tell you about the gaming aspect of it. And this was actually a big question of mine when I talked to Peter, who's the guy who started Crankk. I asked a question about gaming because I hate the fact that people that don't deserve tokens get tokens, and they get a lot of it. So that's why he has not released conversion kits, for example, for Helium, because he wants to make sure that the units that are out there are being tested well enough and has information being tracked in a sense that will allow the network to auto ban spoofers. So I don't think you know everything about Crankk, bro. Yeah, I don't think you know anything about Crankk, to be honest with you. But that is actually a big pet peeve of mine is people spoofing. So that is something that he has been working on, and I've talked to him about multiple layers of security to prevent spoofing from taking place. But yeah, if that's what you think, cool. I'm down with that. That's you. You do you, man. Is it possible to mine with multiple Crankk miners? Oh, that's a really good question. Yeah. So right now, Crankk is not doing a proof of coverage network per se. I would suggest having more than one Crankk miner. If you're going to have it, that's what I've asked, Peter for. There's no US versions available right now, but as soon as there are some, I want to get them because you need units talking to each other for them to be profitable. Because you need to have that communication, that two-way communication. That's the idea behind it, and why it is not made for spoofers. So right now, there is no such thing as spoofing. There is turning on miners, just like the M2 miner. You can put like 100 of them in a closet. Technically do that with Crankk. Please don't, because that doesn't help the network. But this is phase one. This is just the start of the network, right? They're trying to get more units out so they can get more data and make that better, that the anti-spoofing features better. That's what they're working on. But yeah, Darko, that was dark, man. That was a little dark. But it's a good thing in my opinion because you're gonna see the Cadena blockchain explode. Um, that's what's next. Cadena will 1000% explode in the near future, and I am just looking for good projects that are building on the platform, which is why on Thursdays I have a stream on Twitter Spaces for all of you to understand what's happening on that platform, what's happening with the Cadena network and the ecosystem, who's building on it, why they're building on it, what they like about it, what's working, what's not working. So lots of little things. What's up, bro? Smoking, smoke. Hello, and names on um, YouTube's are always hard. Um, So I can tell you right now that they do want to get US units out. They have limited time because they're literally working on these units themselves, right? Like you have Peter um, working overtime to make all these things happen, and whoever else is on the team. I usually just talk to Peter, trying to make these things happen, making sure that these units are getting set up the right way. So that they can get units out. So we'll see. We'll see. Marcel, just like the monkey from Friends, you should stream the Twitter Spaces also on YouTube. So I'll do that. So tomorrow, the plan for my Spaces, I'm not going to have anybody on it. I'm actually just going to go over things that I've already talked about when it comes to Cadena. So I like that push gaming. I will for sure do that. I will stream it live on YouTube for tomorrow's Spaces because yeah, that totally makes sense. Is Crankk waiting on supply or approval? Um, I think it's more of a how many they can get out, Ramrod. That's the thing. That's the issue that they're having. They're just working overtime to make things happen, and they have an option, right? And this is a lengthy conversation I have with Peter. It's how are you allocating your time? Because he said, I can sit here and crank out miners and just work on miners, work on miners, work on miners, but that is not going to make a good network. So um, he doesn't dedicate all his time to making miners. That's the bottom line. So he wants to have a robust network, which is, what this is all about. Good day, is the IoT explanation. What's up, Anton? This is a little bit of an IoT explanation. It's a little bit about how the Crankk network is a new network, that's looking to do what Helium has tried to do, but better in the sense that they want to actually benefit people more than the execs. Sorry, I'm just going back to that Forbes article, but at the end of the day, it's an IoT network being built on top of a blockchain that solves the trilemma, which is Cadena. So Crankk is, the IoT platform that's being built on Cadena, and they just announced that they just launched miners. I don't know how many they have out there, but they do have miners that they're selling, and yeah, that's what's going on. So I figured I'd share it with all of you guys before somebody calls me. I was going, why aren't you talking about it? They had a sale. So trying to understand how to use Helium with my IoT devices. Man, it's not very difficult and it doesn't cost very much, honestly. But a lot of the things that I talk about here on the channel are in regards to the mining aspect of it itself. So, and somebody earlier was talking about how toxic the Helium Discord is. If you're asking the wrong questions, it is going to be a little toxic, no doubt about it. But for you, Anton, those questions, I would totally take them to the Helium Discord because people are actually helpful there when it comes to utilizing the network for IoT devices. So I would totally recommend you check them out. And again, I'm not against Helium, guys, and I'll say this once again. I am just against bad things being done to the people's network. Yeah. You sent me a PM. Cool. Ching Chong. I will check that PM out. Oh boy. Let me see 1522. I will check out that PM. tons of homework I have right now with all the messages going in. But yeah, that's why I started the stream. So that's what, Crank is all about, just providing connectivity on a more robust blockchain that doesn't go down all the time. And they're trying to do it right. And by doing it right, they're focusing on the network, not necessarily on all the miners. They're not trying to say, let me get, manufacturers online with this and sell thousands and make just money off of the onboarding fees. Instead, they're focusing on building, which I appreciate. I'd rather have something built right than something that is not being utilized. Because, I mean, let's do a little YouTube search and show you guys and show you guys what I'm talking about. Because when it comes to Helium, they are a profitable network, just not for you and I. Um, where is that? There's a really good Helium. Where is it? Ooh, there was a real good thumbnail on YouTube that was basically talking about the network that nobody's using, and just where I got the title for the last video I posted. But I can't find it. It's all right. It's all right, guys. It's all right. But basically, it is a $1 billion network that there's not a lot of usability on it. Is it profitable? Profitable? Yeah. I mean, I would say it's profitable because the Crank token is not even listed for you to trade right now. So this is you're getting in pre-trading. Um, Actually, did you say earlier Crank may offer option to use healing devices to use the Crank in the future? Possibly. That is something that the team has talked about and has explored. They don't want to steal customers. Like that's the thing that Peter is very adamant about. He doesn't want to be the guy that's like creating something for you to jump ship from Helium, right? Because technically Helium went ahead, took your onboarding money, and now they don't really care if you leave. He's trying to build something, that's better than what other people have made. Um, so it's a little bit of a struggle, but the helium conversion kits, let's call them that, because I think that's the best way to explain it. Um, they will not be available like right now because they want to make sure that this thing's actually done right. And conversions can be tricky. You don't want to have some type of conversion kit that opens up the network for anybody to put any type of device onto the network. Like you got to think about that as well. You want to make sure the devices that are coming onto the network are going to be providing coverage, are going to be worthwhile. So, yes, they are looking at that. But before they do that, they want to make sure that things work well, which is why they put out this beta batch of units so that people can go out and use it, utilize it, and report back how things are working, and they can collect data as far as if things are working well or not. Yeah, you're right. It is the CoffeeZilla one. You're right. Helium, CoffeeZilla. Let me genius. All right. Where's my button to share my screen? There it is. Yeah, that's a picture. That's definitely the one I was talking about. So it's CoffeeZilla taking a dump. At least that's what it looks like. Durka, let me send you an NFT, bro. If you jump on my Discord, I'll shoot that over to you. Scott, that's a really, really good idea. Slash, you can still spoof that. um, that's the truth behind having a GPS inside of the unit, because you can still modify things to bypass a GPS location. Even with Helium right now, guys, like you can still like place your miner in a different hex than it actually is in, and there is a margin of error that people just don't even realize. So if you're close to a empty hex and you're on a hex that's being utilized by somebody, you can put your miner on the hex that's next to you, and it a lot of times works just fine. That's the crazy thing. Like there's so many ways for, to circumvent the system. Um, so it's more than just a GPS tracker. I think it has to be a little bit more than that. And I am not allowed to say the mechanism that Crankk is utilizing to prevent spoofing, because the moment I talk about it, people are going to try to find ways to beat it. And yeah, people are going to beat it every time. So the goal is always to stay one step ahead of spoofers and have one additional layer of security that people will always have to be working to break. Like if you think about it, like Chrome, right? Chrome is big on this, and they have, bug bounties and all sorts of things, and they are pretty secure. They also get hacked from time to time. They also get, that stuff gets bypassed. And it's understandable because they are a large company and a lot of people use it, and a lot of people are going to try to break it. So you can always cheat about anything, like you just said, Scott. But the goal is to try to prevent it from happening, keeping that one step ahead. And I do like the fact that that has been on the on the forefront of this build out. It's how are we going to prevent people from being taken advantage of? Because that's what it is. Like, let's make no mistake. A spoofer is nothing more than somebody stealing your money if you're part of the network. And I just can't be part of that. I can't, encourage it. I can't be somebody that I can't be the guy saying, "Yeah, go ahead, spoof away because it's fine. Everybody else is doing it," because you're just hurting yourselves. You're hurting each other. You're hurting the whole network. Look at Helium. I mean, that's what happens. You end up with, articles on Forbes. Yeah, sensationalized articles, which I've agreed with all of you guys. I've mentioned that. I agree that it's sensationalized, but at the same time, it makes sense. What token does MXC mine? Hey, Drew. I'll pull it up for you guys. It actually mines more than one token technically, but MXC mines an MXC. So the M2 miner mines, the MXC token, which is this is the miner right there. Oh, that link is a referral link, so I do get compensated monetarily if y'all use it. Just putting that out there. I don't want to pretend I don't get anything from it. I do, but nobody ever uses it, so it's fine. Yeah, IP addresses are the easiest things, man. Easiest things to spoof. I can change my IP right now. Like while I'm on this connection, I can change my IP. So it's hard. It's really, really hard. What should you do with two Bobcats? Um, Honestly, personally, if I had two Bobcats sitting around, I would list them for sale because I would try to get some money back. And or turn it on. So you can always just turn it on and try to mine if you have a decent spot for it, because it's going to be a paperweight otherwise, right? Like there's nothing you can do with it. I mean, Alex from Tactical Investing literally announced it, paperweight day or whatever he was calling it, because the earnings stink. The earnings are not very good from it. The Helium 500 and Helium 300 in the same hex. Yeah, so they're different networks, Jax. So you can mine, the 5G token, the mobile token and the IoT token in the same hex. They're not the same network. They're completely separate things. They're providing different kind of coverage. So yeah, you can mine both, no problem. Aaron, you're right, man. There's always going to be some type of spoofing. You're dead on, and it's about how much does a network care about that, and how far will they go to try to prevent it as much as possible. That's the thing. Drew will do an NFT. All right, Drew. Are you on Discord? Do I have my Discord open? I replied to some of you guys on there. Sorry, my Discord is a hot mess to get to right now. It's too many projects. There we are. Right. Found you. Drew, shoot me a message. Rory, what's up, bro? Spoofers need to find a new hobby. Yeah, you're telling me, man. I'm with you. If I could, a hobby, I would say spoofers need to find a job, not a hobby. That's where I stand with it. Hobby isn't enough. They need to find a job because if they're spoofing, they have nothing better to do. Aaron, you're dead on. You're dead on as far as the Bobber 500 it does provide both. Um, it will lower your transmit scale. Something you can do is if you have a different network connection, you can have it on the same hex. But as far as 5G goes, 5G versus IoT, that's the basics there. Um, but you're right. If it's that unit, you're right. They got a temporary career. You're right. Hey man, and that's the thing in crypto, right? Like people talk about, oh yeah, they're only going to be making money for so long. Yeah, that's true, but you can make a lot of money in a very short amount of time with how new this platform is. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Um, Getting ready for the hurricane. Oh yeah, that's rough, man. My cousin's down there right now. He was telling me things are getting a little wild over in Florida. If you guys aren't aware, um, there's a big old hurricane Ian basically going across Florida. Um, it's a category 4 now, so things are not pretty. Hope y'all stay safe out there. Nerd works. You're still yeah, I'm still streaming. I don't know why I'm still streaming. Like you guys keep talking to me, I'm going to keep talking to you. Like I don't stream very often, so this is a different. Um Ching Chong, can you do I don't know, share the channel, go follow me on Twitter. That's something. Here. Can I edit that? Because I definitely messed that up. We'll try that link again. Yeah, and tomorrow, like I said, I will definitely stream. Because I do a Twitter Spaces replace pin message. I always do a Twitter Spaces on Thursdays, talking about what's going on with the Cadena network and people building on it. So somebody asked me, "Hey, can you stream it?" Yeah, I'll stream it. Sounds good. Will Crankk swap out my sense cap for their miner? So I am not swapping my helium miners. My helium miners are staying put because what am I gonna do, dude? Like I might as well just keep it there. I am adding a Crankk miner when I can get it. That is my goal. That's what I'm actually gonna do. So yeah, that's the idea behind it. Um, Airwolf, I appreciate it. M- Mr. Ooh Wee, you're always working, man. Always working. Ooh, I am getting affiliate messages. That's fun. Interesting. So, uh, oh, GeoNet? No, this is interesting. Huh. I won't say who just reached out to me about affiliate, but somebody just did. Um, Maybe I'll let you guys know about it later. Man, it's wild. As soon as you start talking about a topic and you get any kind of views on YouTube, people reach out trying to monopolize and try to, take some of those eyeballs and monetize it somehow. So, Ching Chong, you're the man, dude. Yeah, like hit us up on Discord. I want to make sure I can actually talk to you later on too, man. Um, are they sending you a miner to review? Aaron, I don't know yet. They don't have a US miner yet available. But they said that they're working on it. I didn't ask for any handouts. I asked to get the ability of getting a miner. Never said that I was, I wanted it for free. So I don't know. I might get it with all of you guys. I'm trying to expedite that process. Hopefully, I can make that happen. I have access to a dashboard from other miners, which are available. They kind of showed it to me so I could see what's going on. I gave them feedback. The usual stuff I do for projects that I actually enjoy. Try to give them as much info as I possibly can. Um, and this is a wild thing, right? Like, I've been in crypto for a long, long, long time. I've seen so many things come and go. And when I connect with people, that's step one. I don't care what you're building. Like, who are you as a person? Like, are you a decent person? Then we can keep going with that conversation. And after I get past that first step, then we get to talking about the real things. And when I'm talking about real things, I'm talking about, like, okay, so what are you building? How are you building it? And just with the experience that I've had in crypto, I've been able to help people and saying, "Hey, you might want to consider not doing it this way. You might try to do it the other way. What are you thinking about this? What do you think about that?" Illumicate is a perfect example of that. Those guys are awesome people. They had a different plan than the one that has been presented to everybody else, and I'm really happy that I had a conversation with them because they could have had a bad system where a few people could have really made a lot of money, like a lot of money, and others made nothing. And it just wasn't a fair setup. So I said, "Hey, what about this?" Because I mean, I want to be one of those people, right? And they're like, "Oh, yeah, I guess there's a lot of money to be made if you're one of those main people." Like, yeah, you might not want to do it that way, and they changed it, so it's cool. Um, Aaron, I will. I'm already on it. Like, I've asked for it. I will. I'll definitely do that. And I'm not asking to get one for free either. Like, I just want to get one. Period. So I'll talk to Peter, and again, I'll tell you. I'll tell him that everybody's asking for it. That it's not for me. It's for everybody else. And get things going. Let me see what else. Do you think the projects are committed Helium demo, whether I max Hive or map migrate to Crankk? So Roman, that's a great question. I won't disclose which one of those 3 projects you mentioned, but I can tell you that I've been approached by at least one of those, and they wanted me to be an affiliate influencer thing where they would give you commission, all that stuff, and I turned them down because they had clause in their agreement that told me that I could not be negative about them. Anytime I see that, I'm like, "Oh, so you're trying to bring on influencers and giving you're paying them to shut them up." So I'm not a big fan of one of those people. And at least one of the other ones literally ignored me when I tried to reach out. So not very communicative. I don't know is the bottom line, but it is a very easy thing to implement. But beyond that, I think that there is an even bigger and better opportunity for people to build. That's the thing. People will build more now because there's now a new blockchain. There's now a new experience, and I don't necessarily want to see demo whether XM Hive or Mapper. I want to see people building on a proof of work blockchain, and I think that's where this is going to lead to. It's more than just they are going to move over and switch networks. No, no, no. I think that new things are going to be coming because of this. So it's actually like better than having people just move over. Jason, am I recommending selling all HNT and miner? I'm not recommending selling all HNT and miners. No, I just said, dude, that I have my own that I'm running. I'm gonna continue to run them. Like they don't cost very much to run. Like I'm not turning anything off. I would never do that. Like I was just talking about how I do have HNT that I'm not selling because the price is too low. There are things that make sense to me, but just because I'm doing something doesn't mean that you guys should not, should do exactly what I do. That's not always the smartest thing to do. That's what I'm about. Like I do me, you do you. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and if you think there's any value in it, then great. Then where's that button? Then what is it? Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Um, it's usually what I say, and I'm not telling people to sell their miners. This was a specific thing that he was asking about those Bobcats. If I had those 2 Bobcats, I would try to sell them if they're still in the box before I open them up because they have not been onboarded yet, right? That's the easiest way. Um, yeah, so the easiest way to get a miner sold is one that has not been onboarded yet, and Bobcats are, delayed, which means that you might have a better chance of getting those sold. That's all I'm saying, dude. Like, I'm not saying that you should sell all your stuff and be done with it. I'm not selling all my stuff. I mean, my miners are gonna run. Um, yeah, Rory, buddy. You gotta take profits. It's hard because I'm also of the mindset is like, oh, this is so cool. I'm gonna keep earning. I'm gonna keep earning, and I'm like, oh, I'm earning more tokens, but it's all worth less. Um, what's her name? Wendy. All right. So Wendy O, like she is like she has a catchphrase almost where she talks about her moon bag, right? And I'll keep saying this because she has a great example. A moon bag is exactly that, a moon bag. It's something you don't touch. Most things you should touch. You need to be willing to sell the tokens for the projects that you love. And it sounds terrible, it sounds rough, but that's what everybody else does. So if if there's no liquidity or you don't know where the liquidity is coming from, it's coming from you. So don't get so attached to something that you're not willing to sell it. That's how you get burned in the space. That's how you lose money. That's how you invest in a really cool thing and all of a sudden you see it go up, you get really excited, then just to watch it crash down right after. That's a bummer, man. And like I've been trying to tell people this for a while, and like we were in a really really nice bull run just a couple of months ago, and I said that, and people didn't think much of it. But now that we're in this bear market, a lot of people that were making videos, a lot of creators are no longer around or are not making things like they used to. What I want to make sure you guys understand is that regardless of the cycle that we're in, follow principles that make sense, that keep you safe, that make sure that you're not losing money, right? Like that's the way to look at it. Don't just say, "Oh yeah, I mean, we're all making money, so it's fine." No, no, we're all making money now, maybe not tomorrow, right? So make good decisions regardless of what the market looks like because you can't time the market. I mean, you can try, and most people lose money trying to do that. So just be aware. Um, so Peter Strike, ASIC mining, GPU mining, helium mining. So here's what I'll say. Yes, everything is profitable. It all depends how long you're willing to invest in it to make your money back. When it comes to ASICs, make sure that you're looking up what token it's actually mining. What's the longevity of that product? Does it make sense? Is it going to come crashing down? Are you going to buy an ET hash miner, like just the Jasmine miners, and it's like, oh, this is great because it's super profitable, and then you get ETH that you can't no longer mine, and then it comes crashing down. So they're very specific, man. They're very unique, and you got to be careful where you go with those things. I love ASICs. I am in the worst possible location in the states to mine with an ASIC. I mean, my electricity bill is off the charts. And I'll look it up while I'm telling you this, because it's expensive, right? It's gotta make sense financially when it comes to how much you're paying for electricity when it comes to ASICs, and that's a big, big deal, guys. Big deal. So yeah, any ASIC can be profitable at the end of the day if your electricity bill makes sense. Because if you don't have an electric bill, hey, mine whatever you want anytime you want. It's all going to be profitable. Which brings me to what Suburban just talked about. The KD box miners, they're going to be obsolete, and not make much profit. Yeah, I can see that. But here's the thing. Let's say you work in an office where you can have a little KD box plugged in and you don't pay for the electricity and it doesn't really make much noise. Guess what? It's money in the bank for free. So ASICs make sense as long as you don't have to pay the bill every time. Now, when you do have to pay the bill, then you got to start calculating things because the cost can be very different depending where you're at. Oh, thanks, Jason. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, dude, it's so much easier. Like, here's the thing: when it comes to people just shilling things to shill things, it's a lot more difficult to keep up with what you're saying if you're lying about stuff. Like if you're lying to people and multiple people, you got to remember your lies. That's too much work, man. Rather be honest than yeah. I don't have to remember what I said before. I just be myself all the time. It's a lot easier, less stressful. I can sleep at night. So, Aaron, I totally understand where you're coming from as far as mining HNT versus GPU and ASICs. I get it. I get it. It's for some parts of the country, it's the only way, right? Like you got to find something that's profitable without breaking the bank because that's what it does. It breaks the bank when you try to run an ASIC with the electricity cost. Um, that's the world that I live in right now. Right now, I actually have SDG&E, and here I'll share my screen. Hopefully, everyone is sitting down while I show you this because it's bad. It's really bad. Multifamily submetered. Okay, yeah, this is it. So time of use, and this is what they do. They do all kinds of crazy, crazy different plans, trying to get the money's worth. This is EV. Okay, so EV is what I have. It's one of these two. So current schedule. Yeah, is this the one? Let's give this one a shot. All right, I know it's a little bit small. I'm gonna blow it up. Just want you guys to follow along as far as how this works. Have summer and winter on the left side, and on the right side it tells you what the prices are. So you have on peak, off peak, and super off peak. I'm just gonna go on the top one. Let me see. Are they? Yeah, they're basically the same thing. Um, Tell me how these rates here make sense. How? Just how, guys? How does this make sense? Like on peak, it's 67 cents a kilowatt hour. How do you justify that? Like the cheapest I'm able to pay for electricity is 24 cents? This is crazy. This is so crazy, crazy, crazy. It's absolutely bonkers to me. This is why I said I hope you guys were sitting down to see this. Yeah, I cry a little bit every time I look at it. Yeah, yep. It's rough. Like, how in the world do you mine with an ASIC with these costs? It just does not make sense. I am freaking out about what the final bill is going to be at the end of the year because I get billed once a year because I have solar and I got an EV vehicle. Yeah, Europe is 30, 35 to 75 cents. Yeah, Peter, I'm with you, dude. Like we're in the same cost right there. Yeah, this usually blows people away when they see these numbers, and these aren't even the worst possible numbers out there because depending on the plan that you're in, you end up paying more. Like the time of use really screws people over. I used to have a static cost, and they didn't care. They just swapped everybody because I had to move. So when you move, I didn't have the option of staying with a standard rate schedule. So I got thrown into the time of use, but it still doesn't help very much because even their like non-time meter thing, they do 130% of baseline energy and then over 130%. And like the baseline is 40 cents. And then if you go above 130%, you pay 50 cents a kilowatt hour. So it stinks. It stinks. But the wildest thing is that it's still worthwhile having an EV vehicle because it's more expensive to pay for gas than it is for electricity to charge. Oh, the times we live in where we're trying to pick out what miners we're gonna use because of how much electricity costs. Like, who would have thought that this is where it would be today? This is wild, right? Um, it's kind of weird to even consider it that things are changing this quick, that things are changing this much. It's good stuff though. It's exciting to be here. Alex, I'll see you, bro. Have a good one, buddy. Um, I'm gonna. What time is it? It's 2:13. I've been going at it for I don't know, 2 hours and some change. No wonder I'm thirsty. Let me just think for 1 second. All right, shutting down 15 minutes. Yeah, I need a host. What? 8 cents? 11? Ramrod, are you really gonna charge me that much? So, Jacksman, I have SDG&E here in Southern California, and prices are insanely high. All right. Okay, so 15 minutes. We'll shut this down. So let me give a quick rundown as far as what we covered. So people that joined recently aren't like, what is this thing? Like, what? This makes no sense. Why are you talking about this? Covered, in regards to how I don't hate helium, but I think there is opportunity in this market to build something better, something that has not been already, pre-mined by the people who got in, as a family, deal. Like somebody mentioned here, I'm talking about Crankk because Crankk announced today that they are selling miners and they just put this thing online. This is a brand new network. It's built on the blockchain Cadena. Cadena is a proof of work blockchain, just like Bitcoin, except there's actual transactional speed there because they do, things differently. They solve the trilemma as the first blockchain to actually do so. There's 20 chains that are interconnected and are able to take the load off of one another, and the thing is pretty cool. And they have a custom programming language called PoW. Anyway, Cadena's doing it right, and Crankk is built on Cadena. They just launched this indoor miner here for Europe, EU 868. It is beta, which means that this is not going to, I keep clicking and it keeps adding one more. It's not going to have all the functionality that you would expect from a miner, but it is a way for them to get more data out there and understand what in the world is going on. Literally what in the world is going on, because the antenna will tell the network stuff that's going on around the world. And I didn't want, I'm going to make a video, exclusive Crankk video to explain what this is all about and how it works, but I didn't want anybody to miss out. I wanted you guys to understand exactly what this is, the opportunities, what it entails, because I think it's a worthwhile endeavor. It's something that if I was in the EU, I would totally pick one of these up. I've asked, right now, my next step is to beg for a US miner so I can show you guys how this thing is working and how the network functions. I will make a custom video, like very concise data, so you're not sitting here for 2.5 hours listening to me talk about everything from, MatchX to deeper network and everything in between, because that's what we've been doing here. I've been just trying to cover stuff that you guys have been, asking. So if you guys asked, I try to answer. Fracking power. Ching chong. Well, talking about fracking power, there is actually a byproduct of that people are using. I'll probably do a video about that, sooner or later, because there are things they can do with it, even with the bad things that come from fracking. But yeah, here's the request I have. I'm gonna shut this down in a little bit here. But do you guys have any questions whatsoever? Anything I did not cover, on topic, off topic? The world is your oyster. Tell me what you want to know. Oh, Darker, you wrote something and then you retracted it. Oh, you pay 5 cents in Canada. Ah, lucky you. Lucky you. Yeah. Yeah, location has a lot to do with the cost of power as well. Oh, Cheng Chong, you do not want to go that route with me. You do not want to go, change my mind. Fracking is a good thing. I can argue pro or against just about anything. Sometimes I argue with people just for fun. Airwolf, when is Crankk Miners coming to the USA? They said that like I said before, Peter is really focusing on the development of the network itself, not necessarily trying to build more miners so that he can bring more money into the company. That's not what it's all about. He's really interested in creating a good network. With that being said, I've asked for US miners. He said that he will be working on them and he will have announcements soon. Usually when he says soon, talking about it a week. So we might get a good grasp as far as stock goes in a week's time to hear if we have some US miners coming into play or not. X Miner is working for me. It's fine. I mean, if somebody was asked about the X Miner. It's fine. It's just sitting there. I mean, the token price tanked a bunch. Went from $3 to 20 cents. I'm okay with it just sitting there. I'm really excited to see if they're able to build something and get more people onboarded onto the network. That's where I'm at with that. If you didn't like the video, I'll put this up right now. Yeah, Discomatic. You're gonna go look into Crankk. Sure, I appreciate that. Any others? Yeah, there's plenty of other things out there right now. You got to be a little bit more specific. What's going on sell short squeeze? Short squeezers are starting to win again. FTX actually talked about wanting to acquire assets from Celsius, so there is that. Um, the community is like super alive. There is a little bit of VC money that was in there that did come out, and more that might come out later, but it can go either way, guys. And the name of the game when it comes to the sell short squeeze for me is diversification. It doesn't hurt for me to put a little bit of money into it, and if I make some money out of it, I'm happy. If I don't, that's okay too. I'm not putting money into something. I'm not spending money that I can't afford to lose. That's the way I'm looking at it. All right. Ooh, I'm burned out of IoT projects. Yeah, man, network bits, dude. I get it. I totally get it. You gotta try to look at the different angles, right? Like, what's the next thing for IoT? Like, what is an IoT platform that might not look like an IoT platform? Um, I'm with you, dude. Totally get it. Fracking, my opinion. Oh, this is gonna get political super quick, super quick. This is how things just go downhill. Let me read this. Fracking, my opinion, for the U.S. is needed with an incoming 2008 housing crash coming again, inflation rising rapidly, U.S. importing from countries that are purposefully upping natural refined oil. Lovely. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily the way to go. Why do we care so much about fracking? Why not just not frack because of the negative side effects when things start literally getting eaten by sinkholes? That's not good. Instead, why not focus on a pipeline instead that can bring oil from places where the oil can come with a faster. I think a pipeline might make more sense than fracking locally. We can just get the oil shipped out to where it needs to go instead of fracking locally, because that can have negative effects on the people that are living around the fracking areas, from the water, quality to a bunch of other things that goes along with it. So I don't know. I don't know if fracking is the right way. By the way, I am literally just disagreeing with you because you asked me to. Hmm. Boy, oh boy, you guys are hilarious. See, this is why I kept the stream going for so long, because comments from you guys. Business locally that accept crypto as payment. Curious mainstream adoption in California. Dude, nothing around me, not very much. Plus, I don't like to leave my house very often. So everything I do is usually online. But no, nothing that accepts crypto locally that I've seen. A little bit, downtown San Diego, you might have things here and there, but no crazy, adoption going on, at least from where the eye can see. Because speed, man, I think speed's still a big issue as of right now. So the way to get crypto accepted is by using, some kind of payment card, maybe crypto.com if you have a card with them. What is it? Affiliate link in the description. That's where it's at. That people have that ability to use those cards to pay with crypto. Other than that, it doesn't make a lot of sense because it's transactional speed. People don't really want to wait for things. Nodal. Somebody mentioned Nodal. I saw a message about Nodal. So I'm excited about Nodal and how it's expanding. Yeah, I'm in San Diego County, dude. DJAC. Where are you at, dude? Let me know. But Nodal, they actually used one of their NFTs at the conference in Rio just 2 weeks ago to pay for food, which was really cool. So they are trying to implement some of those solutions, which is going to be exciting to see. Um, Right. So, Aaron, that's a good point, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's always through something. It's not directly crypto. It's not like you can say, yeah, just pay with USDC. It's like it's not working that way yet. Um, that's it. Monkey, dude. I'm glad I didn't shut the stream off, dude. Like I told everybody I'm shutting it off in about 7 minutes here, and I'm glad I didn't do it just so we could have you join us. So thanks, man. I appreciate you being here. All right. Yeah, that's right. Coinbase Commerce for my soon-to-be shop. Best thing for crypto is to use crypto. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, dude. Like you can use third-party, applications to pay with crypto, but is it really paying with crypto if you're stuck to something? If I can't pay with my decentralized wallet, is it using crypto? That's usually where I draw that line. Claremont. Oh, you're down south, dude. I'm in North County. I am in North County. A lot quieter up here. Thanks, Monkey Dude. So you have 5 minutes. What do you want to know? Literally, we opened up the floor for questions and answers about anything and everything. Mm. What is a squigglier spiral token? Drew, you're messing me up here now. Um, Spiral. Actually, you reminded me of a game I used to play back in the day called Spiral Knights. That was actually pretty cool. But I actually probably can get you an answer to that question pretty quick. Spiral token. Let me think here. Um, IOTA. There you go. If you want to know what's a spiral token, look them up. You'll see that it's their logo. It's a spiral. Carbon footprint is a joke, but I can't wait to cyber truck. Yeah, so a carbon footprint is a joke in the sense that people don't take the full, what do you call it? Um, they don't take in consideration the entirety of it, right? Like the carbon footprint of electric vehicles is terrible. The best thing right now is still what do you call it? Not like a full electric vehicle, but a hybrid. That has the best carbon footprint at the moment, but people don't care about data. So they just say, I want electric cars, whatever. Network bits, Match X. Yeah, I talked about Match X because I actually am happy with mine because it sits there and it makes me money and I like it that I get the same amount of money regardless of where the market is. And I actually like mining it with right now with my in this bearish market because it means that when the price pumps, I will benefit from it tremendously. What else we got? Let me see here. Carbon footprint. What is your take on knowing I-05? Knowing I-05. I I looked into this. When did I look into this? Huh. I don't remember the last time I actually looked into these guys, but I did look into them back in the day. Oh, I remember somebody messaged me saying that it was a scam. That's when I looked into these guys. I don't know why they said it was a scam, but that's what they told me, John. Um, yeah, somebody literally reached out saying, "Hey, that this is a scam. Just be careful. You might want to let people know." Network bits. Are you shilling your own channel right now? I'm looking. I just want to know before we go if you're shilling your own channel, because yeah, I've seen you. I've seen your stuff. That's the thing with deeper, not deeper. I just saw deeper video and I said deeper. With YouTube, I don't only create. I also intake from YouTube because I'm that type of person that really wants to make sure that I'm not just creating content. I want to make the best possible content for you all. And sometimes discouraging when I see people doing it right and doing it well. And then I'm like, oh, I need to do better. Um, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Network Bits, I appreciate you being honest, saying that you are shilling your channel. I know nothing about you. I don't know how I feel about this, but let's subscribe. You got 1 week to wow me. Oh. Anyway, guys, yeah, we're getting close to time here, so I'm gonna cut this short and not short. This is pretty long, but I appreciate you just being honest, dude, and saying that you are shilling yourself. That's nothing wrong with that. You do what you can to get the word out there about what you're doing. Nothing wrong with that. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Um, so no, but seriously, you guys are awesome. It's been a really fun stream. I made a whopping $5 in tips. I can't tip myself, so I can't make any more money. So yeah, that's all good. But it's been fun. It's been a good time. We're gonna cut it here, and tomorrow I will live stream again because I have um, Cadena going on Twitter Spaces. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, you can follow me there. But I'm also gonna live stream because I don't usually get to do that for my Spaces on Thursdays. So we're gonna do that, and I have a surprise that I'm working on for Friday. I might end up live streaming that on YouTube's as well because I think it'd be worthwhile. You guys are pretty awesome. Oh, the spiral looking token. Oh, dude, the spiral looking token? I feel like I gotta answer this question now. Are you talking about MXC? Gotta help him. Gotta help. Spiral looking token. The spiral looking token. I gotta answer. I gotta help Drew. I can't go without helping him out. Da, 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 da. MXC. I'm gonna find the answer to your question. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so you're wondering what this is. What this guy mines. So the spiral looking token is DHX. It just clicked. What you're talking about. So it's DHX. Sorry, it took a second for it to click. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of light as far as what's going on there. So DHX. Oh, Sundiver. Sorry you're sick, dude. I'm glad you're able to make it. Aurora, you're the man, dude. All right, this is it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on my Discord and clean house. Um, remember, you guys are you literally doubled the revenue, doubled the revenue. Um, cool. You guys are great. I'll catch you all on the flippity flip. See, I'm trying to end with something and I got nothing. Bye. Enjoy church. There we go. I was looking for just a blank screen for me to go to, but it seems like nothing is here and nothing works. Um, but that's the story of my life. It's just trying to make things work. Just one little thing at a time, but we do what we can. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care, guys.